No one in the modern timeline of One Piece has a permanent black blade that they themselves have created. The reason why I say this is because of the story being told through Zoro is most likely an inverted story that will be told through Mihawk eventually. What do I mean by this? Well, we know through a very complex family tree that Shimmonsuke Ryuma is an ancestor of Roronoa Zoro. So, with him using Susui for an extended period of time, he is using a family heirloom. This most likely is the same case with Dracula Mihawk using Yoru. As I've said before, it is very possible, seeing as how we have a very interesting family tree with Roronoa and Shimmonsuke being related to one another, that Dracula and Nerona could be related to one another, looking at the eye similarities between Dracula Mihawk and Nerona Emu. So it's very possible that perhaps maybe sometime way in the past, if the Holy Knights existed back then, perhaps there was a Holy Knight of the Nerona clan that made their blade black. And then that blade was passed down and lost through the years and ended up in the lap of a descendant of the Nerona family in Dracula Mihawk. So he did not make his sword black. He simply found it under weird circumstances, like Zoro found Susui under odd circumstances. Another strange thing about black blades that we don't really get with Yoru is that black blades seem to have abilities that normal swords don't have, or it seems as though when a normal sword is on its way to possibly becoming a black blade, like with Enma, they start to develop unique personalities in ways that they are used. So like how Enma absorbs Haki, we have Shusui being unusually heavy and cutting like a cleaver. Yoru doesn't have any of these attributes. The only attribute that it's said to have is that it is very, very black. So perhaps Yoru is the blackest of black blades out there, which would put it in a different caliber than, say, Shusui, which makes sense because unlike Shusui, it doesn't have a colored edge. So maybe that is something to look out for in the future. But with that being said, I do think a big marker for Zoro becoming the strongest swordsman in the world is not only turning a sword like Emma black, but turning all three swords on his person that he has at this moment in time black. And that is what will mark him as the greatest swordsman in the world, because not only did he make a sword permanently black, he made 3 swords permanently black. With that being said, do I think someone from the Nerona clan could make a black blade in the current timeline? Yes, I do. Perhaps S-Hawk, because it's been a belief of mine that Mihawk is now off the table as being Zoro's final opponent. It is S-Hawk who will be Zoro's final opponent, and who better to understand the composition of a blade than someone who is actually a blade with the knowledge of a master swordsman. But with that being said, give me your thoughts and tell your friends about Polypede. What's it?